Here are the 9 contestants preparing for today's show. Only one of them can win prize money of up to £10,000. The others will leave with nothing, as round by round they're voted off as the weakest link.
Welcome to the weakest link. Any of the 9 people in the studio here today could win up to £10,000. They only just met, but if they want to win the potential prize money, they must work together as a team. But 8 of them will leave with nothing, as round by round we lose the player voted the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
Hello, my name is Giuseppe. I'm 36 years old, and I'm a car salesman.
Hi, I'm Charlotte. I'm 19, and I'm a university student.
I'm Sally. I'm 26, and I'm a beautician.
Hello, I'm Anthony. I'm 51, and I'm a postman.
Hello, my name is Jerome. I'm 40, and I'm a translator for airport security.
I'm Edwina. I'm 80 years old, and I'm retired.
Hello, I'm Amber. I'm 31, and I'm a primary school teacher.
Hi, I'm Bob. I'm 63, and I'm a construction worker.
Hey there, my name is Percy. I'm 24, and I'm a YouTuber.
I know what you're all thinking. It's a bit weird to see me, Mark Cunnings, an actual live person moving his lips instead of being a static JPEG. Well, I think this is a really nice change to the show, and I'm glad to be doing this again after a very long time. I missed you all so much. But enough about me, here are the rules. In each round you have a target of £1,000, the aims to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £1,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. Get your question wrong, you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain, but if you say, bank, before the question is asked, the money is safe, but you'll start a new chain from scratch. At the end of the round, only money that's been banked can be taken forward. Round 1, 3 minutes on the clock. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically, and that's you, Amber. Let's play the weakest link. The first question is worth £20. Start the clock. Amber, in competitions, a person who finishes in second place is awarded what precious metal?
Silver.
Correct, Bob. In terms of denomination, which is the largest coin in circulation in the UK?
£2.
Correct, Percy. What kind of creature was described as cowardly in the 1939 film Wizard of Oz?
Lion.
Correct, Giuseppe. Ronaldo and Messi are both famous figures related to which sport?
Soccer.
Soccer or football. Correct, Charlotte. What kind of material are greenhouses typically made of?
Glass.
Correct, Sally. Munich, Hamburg, and Dortmund are major cities located in which European country?
France.
Nope, Germany. Anthony, in maths, what's 1/2 of 42?
26.
Even 21, Anthony. Jerome, in food, what small green fruit similar to lemons has an extremely sour taste?
Limes.
Correct, Edwina. Which Barbadian-born female singer had a hit song in 2007 titled Umbrella?
Lady Gaga.
No, Rihanna. Amber, what is the name of the stick in snooker and pool that sounds identical to the 17th letter of the English alphabet?
I don't know.
The correct answer is Q, Amber. Wow, what a fine collection of brain boxes we have today. Bob, what is the name of the holiday celebrated on the 26th of December?
Boxing Day.
Correct, Percy. What is a name of a hairstyle and also a name of a fish?
Mullet.
Correct, Giuseppe. Complete the well-known phrase, when there's smoke, there's what?
Fire.
Correct, Charlotte.
Bank.
What is the surname of the family in the 1990 film Home Alone?
The McCallums. No, I mean McAllisters.
I can only accept your first answer. The McAllisters is the correct answer. Sally, what kind of establishment is Five Guys? A clothing store or a fast food restaurant?
Clothing store.
No, Sally, it's a fast food restaurant. Okay, this is getting pretty embarrassing now. Anthony, which planet in the solar system is commonly known as the Red Planet?
Mars.
Correct, Jerome. In a game of golf, what term means one under par?
Birdie.
Correct, Edwina. Luton, Gatwick and Heathrow are airports located in which city in England?
London.
Correct, Amber. In religion, what is the holy book of Christianity called?
The Bible.
Correct, Bob.
Bang.
What word beginning with the silent P is for someone who can read minds and make predictions?
Socket.
Correct, Percy. Who was the king of Macedonia that created one? Time's up. I cannot complete the question. I only got one word to say about that performance. Wow. Just wow. In my 6 years of doing this show, that was genuinely one of the worst performances I have ever witnessed, and this is only round 1. But to your credit, you banked much more than expected. You banked £300, but that's still not impressive, considering you could have won 1,000. Who is the idiot that desperately needs ejecting? Who has a lower IQ score than their shoe size? One of you is about to leave with absolutely nothing. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
After getting the most questions correct and banking the most money for the team, Bob is the strongest link. The weakest link is Sally. She failed to answer a single question correctly, but will be the first to go in this early stage of the game.
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think was the weakest link.
Sally.
Sally.
Edwina.
Sally.
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 I've seen a lot of bad performances before, but this really takes the cake. Percy, remind me what you do.
I'm a YouTuber.
What kind of videos do you make for YouTube?
I make gaming videos.
And what kind of games do you play?
Mainly just Roblox at the moment.
Roblox. And how old are you again?
24 years old.
Aren't you a little old to be playing Roblox? Because I'm pretty sure it's mostly played by children.
No, not at all. Roblox also has mature games on the platform too. Shooting games like Aircraft Assault, Phantom Forces, Arsenal, military games, and much more.
I see. Are you good at those games?
I don't play those games. I mainly just play Meep City on Roblox.
And what is Meep City about?
It's a game where you decorate your own house, customizing your own avatar, and get pets you can buy accessories for.
That doesn't sound very exciting, but alright. And how long have you been doing this on YouTube for?
I think I've been making videos since 2021, so about 3 years.
3 years on YouTube, and that's the only thing you play? So, has it been worthwhile for you so far?
Actually, I've only got a couple thousand views so far. But don't worry, I'm thinking of playing Fortnite on YouTube very soon, so I can get even more views.
Fortnite? Ugh. Don't expect me to be one of your viewers anytime soon. So Percy, tell me why you voted for Sally?
I voted for Sally because she got both of her questions wrong, which isn't good enough at all. She's a bit of a noob, to be perfectly honest.
Amber, who doesn't know the name of the stick used in snooker and pool? Also the 17th letter of the English alphabet. Care to explain?
I can't. Not sure what happened there. My mind just went blank for some reason.
Dare I ask, what is your occupation?
I'm a primary school teacher.
And how long have you been a primary school teacher?
For 8 years.
It's pretty concerning, the fact that you're a primary school teacher for 8 long years, and you don't even know your ABCs yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm embarrassed about that. I'm going to get a ton of grief for it when I get back.
Rightfully so. When you're not teaching primary school pupils, what do you do in your spare time?
In my spare time, I go stargazing.
That's pretty nice. Do you enjoy stargazing?
Absolutely. I have a huge passion for stars, and astronomy in general.
I see. Have you seen anything interesting during your stargazing?
I've seen a few shooting stars, and the Milky Way before with my telescope, and hopefully, I will find even more exciting things, like an undiscovered planet for example.
Very good luck with that, but now's the time to stop gazing, and wake up to pay attention to the questions. So Amber, why Silly Sally?
A lot of us, including me, didn't do very well in this round, but Sally is definitely the worst player, as she got all her questions wrong and lost a lot of money. And she thinks Five Guys is a clothing store. Come on Sally, everyone knows it's a fast food restaurant.
Silly Sally didn't know that apparently. In fact, I don't think she knows anything by the looks of it. Sally, the 26-year-old beautician, who thinks Munich, Hamburg and Dortmund are in France, and thinks Five Guys sells clothes instead of fast food. Your performance today was anything but beautiful, and everybody wants you out already. Unanimously with 8 votes, you're the weakest link. Goodbye.
That was so embarrassing. I can't really complain about being voted off. I was just completely useless in the game. I honestly didn't know Five Guys was a fast food restaurant. I don't eat fast food anyway, so how was I supposed to know? I don't know why Percy called me a noob. In fact, I don't even know what that word means.
Round 2. After that sorry excuse of a first round, you have in the kitty £300 out of a possible 1,000. There are 8 of you left. We're cutting 10 seconds of the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round, and that's Bob. Let's play. The weakest link. Start the clock. Bob, in the nursery rhyme Hey Diddle Diddle, what kind of musical instrument was the cat playing?
The fiddle.
Correct, Percy. In which African country would you find the Pyramid of Giza?
Egypt.
Correct, Giuseppe. What F is a condition when the human body reaches abnormally high temperatures usually? Correct, Charlotte. In food, prunes are made from what dried fruit, pears or plums?
Plums.
Correct, Anthony. Which video game console made by Sony was released in November 12, 2020?
The PlayStation.
Which one, Anthony? I need the full answer.
I can't remember.
Really? The correct answer is the PlayStation 5, Anthony. Jerome, in weight measurements, how many pounds are in 20 stone?
280.
Correct, Edwina. In English geography, which city located in West Yorkshire is the largest by population?
Is it Huddersfield?
No, please. Amber, in the Christmas song, what's the name of the reindeer that has a red nose?
Rudolph.
Correct, Bob. Which 2022 animated film by DreamWorks was titled The Last Wish?
Puss in Boots.
Correct, Percy. In legend, which outlaw stole from the rich to give to the poor?
Robin Hood.
Correct, Giuseppe. In swimming, what kind of stroke shares its name with an insect?
Butterfly.
Correct, Charlotte. In a game of bowling, when a player knocks all the pins down in their second throw, it's called a what?
Spare.
Correct, Anthony. which emergency service would you associate the phrase "the boys in blue"?
The police.
Correct, Jerome. What is the term used for a house that has a single floor?
Bungalow.
Correct, Edwina. What occupation does Nigella Watson, Nadia Hussain and Martha Stewart have in common?
Chefs.
Correct, Amber. What is the title of the song by Celine Dion was featured in the 1997 film Titanic?
My heart will go on.
Correct, Bob. In the animal kingdom, animals such as rats, mice and squirrels are classed as what?
Rodents.
Correct, Percy.
Bank.
Well, isn't this a shock? You actually managed to reach and bank your £1,000 target, something I never thought would be possible. That money will go through to the next round, however, one of you will not. Who is already cracking under the pressure? Who is simply too nervous to continue? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
For the second time in the game, Bob is the strongest link. Percy banked the £1,000 for the team. After getting a question wrong and losing the most money, Anthony is the weakest link, but who will be next to go?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think was the weakest link.
Antoni.
Edwina.
Edwina.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Edwina.
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 Charlotte, who thinks the family from Home Alone are called them Callants instead of them Callisters. Remind me what you do.
I'm a university student.
And for how long have you been in university?
For 2 years.
What are you currently studying at the university?
I am studying medicine and biology.
And what are you hoping to get out of this for the future?
I'm hoping to become a doctor.
What made you one day to decide to become a doctor?
Because since I was young, I wanted to make people who are sick feel better and healthier.
Don't you think 19 is still young?
Yes, but I'm talking about when I was a child, like 3 or 4 years old.
I see. Are you confident that you will become a good doctor?
Oh yes, definitely, absolutely no doubt about that.
Really? What makes you so sure about that?
Well, at university I'm studying at the highest levels, and I've got very good qualifications, so I'm pretty confident I will be an excellent doctor.
If you do become a doctor, I just hope you don't mix up people's surnames. I think that could be rather disastrous.
I promise you, that was just a slip of the tongue. That's not going to happen. There's no need to worry.
So Charlotte, why Edwina?
I voted for Edwina, because she got a question wrong, and she's a bit too hesitant on answering her questions.
Not the fact that she's 80 years old?
I didn't think of that reason originally, but come to think of it now, that probably doesn't help.
What a very polite and respectful potential doctor indeed. And did you think she was the weakest link?
Yes, because of the long hesitation.
Well, you're wrong. She wasn't the worst player in this round. Anthony, tell me what your occupation is.
I'm a postman.
How long have you been a postman?
For 23 years.
I bet you must find being a postman very exciting, don't you? Especially if you've been one for over 2 decades.
Well, I wouldn't say it was exciting, but I would say it was enjoyable.
And what makes it enjoyable to you?
Well, it's the routine I enjoy the most. I get to meet great people in the neighborhood, stay active, and I know the area like the back of my hand.
So you're telling me, you know the area like the back of your hand, but yet you struggle with maths questions like, for an example, 1/2 of 42, and can't even recall a recent video game console release?
It's because I answered the maths question too quickly, and didn't give myself time to think, As for the PlayStation question, I just really couldn't remember. I just don't play video games.
Just because you didn't play the PlayStation 5 is not a reasonable excuse of why you couldn't remember something that happened 4 years ago. But anyway, is there anything interesting things you delivered to the great people of your area?
Not really, just things like electric bills, postcards and other letters. I can't remember the last time I delivered something special.
It's amazing how you claim to know the area like the back of your hand, and yet you seem to have difficulties remembering things.
Yes, I know, it's just my brain can get a bit foggy sometimes.
Well, let's hope your brain clears up for the next round. So Anthony, why Edwina?
Pretty much the same reasons as Charlotte.
Did you also think she was the weakest link?
I did, until you told Charlotte she was wrong.
Indeed. So, would you like to have a guess to who was really the weakest link?
Well, I got a question wrong too, so I think it was me.
Correct, and well remembered. Well, it was Anthony that was the worst player, but it's votes that count. Edwina, who is 80 years old and retired. You got a question wrong, and the team thinks you're too hesitant. Due to this, they've had enough of you. You are now also retired from the game. With 5 votes, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
I'm slightly miffed and very disappointed to be voted off this early in the game, knowing that I wasn't the worst player in the round. I don't think Anthony will be there for any longer. I believe he will really start to struggle in the next round, and I won't be surprised if he gets voted off next.
Round 3. After reaching your target in the last round, you have in the bank £1,300. There are 7 of you left. We're cutting another 10 seconds of the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round, and that's Bob. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Bob, what's the name of the stationary tool used for making holes in paper?
Paper punch.
Correct, Percy. In a car, what pedal is located on the right?
The brake pedal.
Nope, the accelerator pedal. Giuseppe in TV game shows. Which quiz show is hosted by Bradley Walsh since 2012?
The Chase.
Correct, Charlotte. In geography, which country has the city of Ottawa as its capital?
Is it Canada?
Correct, Anthony. What V is a diet that excludes all animal products including dairy?
Vegetarian.
Nope, vegan. Jerome, in music, which band had a famous album in 1969 titled Abbey Road?
The Beatles.
Correct, Amber. Which English football club currently in the Premier League are nicknamed the Spurs?
Pass.
Tottenham Hotspur. Bob, in science, 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point of what liquid?
Water. Correct,
Percy. Tikka masala, korma and midras are varieties of what Indian food?
Curry.
Correct, Giuseppe. What kind of marine creatures are also known as orcas?
Killer whales.
Correct, Charlotte.
Bank.
Which superhero series has the villains Catwoman and Poison Ivy?
Batman.
Correct, Anthony. What is 2100 hours in 12-hour time?
Oh, it's 11 o'clock.
No, Anthony, it's not. 9 o'clock is the correct answer. Jerome, in which decade of the 20th century did the Cold War begin?
The 1950s?
Correct, Amber.
Bank.
Which of these video game franchises was released first? Crash Bandicoot or Sonic the Hedgehog?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Correct, Bob.
Bang.
In literature, who was the author of the 1945 novel Animal Farm?
George Orwell.
Correct, Percy.
Bank.
What does the E stand for in the Arabic country UAE?
Empire.
Nope, Emirates. Giuseppe in the Mr. Men series by Roger Hargreaves. Which character wears bandages?
Mr. Bump.
Correct, Charlotte.
Bang.
In Greek mythology, Time's up. Well, your good performance was very short-lived, to say the absolute least. In fact, it's somehow even worse than round 1. You banked a pathetic £180. Whose head is just completely empty? Who has a PhD in stupidity? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
For the third time in a row, Bob is the strongest link. He answered all of his questions correctly and banked £20. Charlotte banked the most money for the team, banking £120. With no correct answers, Anthony is the weakest link again. Can he survive the votes a second time?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think was the weakest link.
Antoni.
Amber.
Amber.
Percy.
Anthony.
Amber.
Anthony.
We have a tie, Anthony and Amber, 3 votes each. Giuseppe, remind me what you do.
I'm a car salesman.
What kind of cars do you sell?
I sell Ferraris.
Wow, Ferraris? I bet you must like that job so much.
Oh sì, I love Ferraris. It has always been my dream job to work for Ferrari.
A dream job for many car enthusiasts indeed. And for how long have you been selling Ferraris?
I've been selling Ferraris for 4 years.
And do you own a Ferrari yourself?
No, not at the moment.
Why not?
Sadly, I currently own just a black Fiat Bravo. I've got expensive bills to pay for, so it's the only car I can afford.
Surely you must find a regular Fiat Bravo so dull and boring to drive, considering the beautiful Ferraris you see on a regular basis.
Of course, but I also get to test drive the cars as well, so I don't complain.
Incredible. And what is your most favorite Ferrari you've test driven so far?
My favorite Ferrari I've test driven is definitely the Ferrari FF from 2016, so powerful, absolute best of a machine.
There must be tons of people jealous of you having such a job so exhilarating like yours.
Oh sì, no argument there. And not only just my job.
Okay, no need to get carried away there, Giuseppe. So why did you vote for Anthony?
Because I'm pretty sure Anthony was the worst player, and these questions were so simple. He should have been voted off in the last round in my opinion.
That's a very valid opinion to have. Bob, remind me of your occupation.
I'm a construction worker.
So I'm guessing your workmates call you Bob the Builder all the time?
Yes, indeed. Every day. But I must admit, it gets a bit old at times.
Speaking of things that are old, remind me, how old are you again?
I'm 63 years old.
63, huh? Are you planning on retiring anytime soon?
It's funny you mention it actually, because next month will be my last month doing my job before I retire.
I see. And how long have you been a construction worker before you retire next month?
I'd been a construction worker since I was 21, so it's been 42 years.
Wow, a very long time indeed. And what's your plans when you eventually retire next month?
Nothing really, just sitting and watching the football on the TV, and occasionally going to the pub with my friends. However, I plan on going on holiday if I get the prize money.
So let's just say you win today's weakest link, and win the prize money. Where would you go on holiday?
Well, I would like to take my grandchildren along with me to Canada, to see Niagara Falls, and go and watch an ice hockey match together, since they're really into hockey.
That's very ambitious. You better hope the team starts to get a grip and improve their performance in this case.
Yeah. But still, no pressure.
So, Bob the Builder, why did you vote for Amber? Did you think she was the weakest link?
Well, she got a question wrong, and it was a very easy one. Which football club are nicknamed the Spurs? It's obviously Tottenham Hotspur. The clue is in the name, and the snooker key question sticks in my mind too.
Well, when the vote is tied, the strongest link casts the deciding vote. Which is you, Bob, so you've got a choice now. You can stick with Amber or change your mind to Anthony. Who will it be?
I'm sticking with Amber.
Why?
I just don't think it would be fair to change my vote, so I'm sticking to my original decision.
Well, can I tell you something that may come as a surprise to you?
What's that?
Amber was not even close to being the weakest link in this round. It was really Anthony who was the worst player. Yet again, he got all of his questions wrong, while Amber only got one wrong. Well, Anthony, another bullet dodged, huh?
You can say that again. I think this is my lucky day today.
We shall see how long that lasts. Well, Anthony escapes being voted off as the weakest link a second time, but as for you, Amber, the 31-year-old primary school teacher, you were no means the worst player, but I guess Bob has had enough of you because you didn't know that Tottenham Hotspur were nicknamed the Spurs, which to be fair he does have a point, but nevertheless, it's time for you to go back to teaching your primary school pupils. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
How is that remotely fair? I'm the one who gets voted off, when Anthony was clearly worse than me, and doesn't know that 2100 hours is 9 o'clock. Most of my students know this, not only that Percy was worse than me too, and yet barely anybody noticed that. I hope Bob doesn't win. He could have had the sense to vote for Anthony, but, no. And I hope he never gets that holiday to Canada.
Round 4. After that very disappointing round, you have in the bank £1,480 out of a possible £3,000. 6 of you left. We're cutting another 10 seconds from the time. You now only have 2.5 minutes. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round, and that's Bob the Builder. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Bob, in 1992, which British Formula One driver won the F1 World Drivers' Championship?
Nigel Mansell.
Correct, Percy. In chemistry, ammonia is a compound made of nitrogen and which other gas?
Oxygen?
Nope, hydrogen. Giuseppe, what is the currency of India called?
The Indian rupee.
Correct, Charlotte. In the High School Musical film series by Disney, what is the name of the main school's basketball team?
The Wildcats.
Correct, Anthony. In British politics, how many years was Margaret Thatcher Prime Minister?
I don't know.
11 years. Jerome, what term is when animals sleep through winter in order to survive?
Hibernation.
Correct, Bob. In TV, which British comedy series does Tony Robinson play the character Baldric?
Blackadder.
Correct, Percy.
Bank.
Which 1861 novel by Charles Dickens features the main character called Pip?
Oliver Twist.
Nope, Great Expectations. Giuseppe, in history, in which street did the Great Fire of London start in 1666?
Is it Pubbin Lane?
Correct, Charlotte.
Bank.
In 2023, which Scandinavian country won the Eurovision Song Contest with the song Tattoo?
Norway.
Nope,
Damn
Sweden.
it.
Bank.
There's nothing to bank. Anthony, in nature, cirrocumulus, cirrostratus, altocumulus are types of what weather feature?
Can you repeat the question?
In nature, cirrocumulus, cirrostratus, altocumulus are types of what weather feature?
Storms?
No, Anthony, clouds is the correct answer. Jerome, in maths, what percentage is equal to 2/5?
40%.
Correct, Bob. In music, which American rock band was Debbie Harry the lead singer?
Blondie.
Correct, Percy. In which Asian language does konnichiwa mean hello or good afternoon?
Japanese.
Correct, Giuseppe.
Bang.
Anthony Hopkins first played the fictional serial killer Hannibal Lecter in what film?
Say Aliens of the Labs.
Correct, Charlotte.
Bang.
In alcoholic drinks what? Time's up. I cannot complete the question. Well, technically, this is an improvement, but don't you dare get excited because I will show you how much you've improved. This little, insignificant bit. You banked a pitiful £190. Who is the biggest burden of the team? Who is just a complete screw-up? I urge you to sack the simpleton, dump the dipstick, throw away the thud. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
For the first time in the game, Giuseppe is the strongest link. He got all of his questions correct, and banked the most money for the team. Anthony is yet again the weakest link. He has failed to answer a single question correctly for the second time in a row. Will this finally be it for Anthony?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think was the weakest link.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Percy.
Anthony.
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 Percy, can I ask you something?
Sure, go ahead.
Do you drive a car, or any vehicle in particular?
No, I don't drive at all. Why do you ask?
It's just that question I asked you earlier. You thought that the brake pedal was located on the right instead of the accelerator. It's really concerning me.
Yeah, well, I don't know how cars work, so I'm not surprised I got it wrong.
Seriously? Surely you've played a driving game on Roblox before?
No, I haven't, unfortunately.
Are you considering getting a driver's license one day in the near future?
No, I'm not.
Thank God and everything he created for that. There's enough idiots on the roads already without you being there too. So Percy, why Anthony?
Anthony's performance was absolutely terrible. He didn't get a single answer correct, and not only this round, but the last one too. It really boggles my mind how he's still here.
Let's be honest, your performance wasn't all that great either, but miles better than Anthony's. Jerome, I haven't spoken to you yet. Tell me what you do.
I work as a translator for airport security.
That sounds very interesting. What does it involve?
It involves speaking to people who may not understand English very well, so I translate into their known language, so they can understand.
I see. How many languages can you speak?
I can speak fluent in 7 languages.
Wow, impressive. That must have took you many years of studying to be fluent in a few languages, yet alone 7.
Yes indeed. Learning languages was my passion since at school, and I was top of the class. And at college I studied plenty of books and mastered them all.
So what are the 7 languages you can speak fluently?
French, German, Spanish, Dutch, Chinese, Russian, and my most personal favorite, Georgian.
Georgian? That's an incredibly hard language to learn. Can you prove it to me?
Sure, give me any sentence and I'll translate it for you into Georgian.
Okay, how about, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
In Georgian that would be, Shen Karkvales Sistirigoli. Nakvandis.
Astonishing, just absolutely incredible. So Jerome, why Anthony?
I agree with Percy. It boggles my mind too the fact he's still here. This is now twice in a row he has got all of his questions wrong. He also wasted a ton of time on the clouds question. He should have been voted off ages ago.
And if you were to describe Anthony's performance in a single word in Georgian, what would it be?
In Georgian, his performance was Sashinelli.
And what's that translated to English?
Awful.
Understatement of the century. Anthony, the 51-year-old postman, who thinks storms and clouds are the same thing, and thinks 2100 hours is 11 o'clock. The only thing you've delivered for the team today was a very disappointing, and extremely Sashinelli performance today, and finally, And also unsurprisingly, they've unanimously had enough of you. With 5 votes, Shenkark Vlazasti Regali, Nakvamdis, or as we say in English, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Well, all I can say is, I was just completely terrible in the game, and honestly shocked that I made it this far. I got so lucky with the votes. I would like to see Jerome win the money, because I'm genuinely impressed that he can speak 7 languages, and I think he's very intelligent.
Round 5. You now have in the bank £1,670 out of a possible 4,000. 5 of you left. We're cutting another 10 seconds of the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round, and that's Giuseppe. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Giuseppe, which Stephen King novel is about residents of a small town that become vampires?
Salem Slot.
Correct, Charlotte. In the human body, what I is a hormone produced by the pancreas that helps regulate blood sugar levels?
Insulin.
Correct, Jerome. Which adult animated TV series first aired on MTV in 1993?
Is it Beavis and Butthead?
Correct, Bob. In alcoholic drinks, what dry anise flavored spirit originated in Greece?
Ozone.
Correct, Percy. In sport, Robert Lewandowski is the captain of which national football team since 2008?
Ukraine.
No, Poland. Giuseppe, in October of 2022, which American multi-billionaire purchased Twitter?
Elon Musk.
Correct, Charlotte. Which former member of the band Thick that had a hit single in 2000 titled Rock DJ?
Robbie Williams.
Correct, Jerome. If A is Alpha and Z is Zulu, what is K?
Kilo.
Correct, Bob.
Bang.
In the royal family, out of the 3 children of Prince William and Kate Middleton, who is the oldest?
Is it Prince George?
Correct, Percy.
Bang.
In history, Abraham Lincoln was president of the United States during which major conflict?
World War II.
No, Percy. Even the American Civil War. Giuseppe, which Spanish surrealist did a famous painting of melting clocks?
Salvador Dali.
Correct, Charlotte. What type of Olympic sport invented in the late 19th century involves using swords?
Fencing.
Correct, Jerome.
Bank.
In nutrition, what macronutrient can be described as simple or complex?
Carbs.
Yes, carbs or carbohydrates. Correct, Bob. Which Middle Eastern country was historically known as Persia?
Iran.
Correct, Percy.
Bang.
In the Pixar film series Toy Story, who was the arch nemesis of Buzz Lightyear? Time's up. The correct answer was Emperor Zurg. Well, team, you are indeed getting ever so slightly better, but still, nowhere near your £1,000 target. You banked £220. Who is still preventing you from reaching your target? Who simply cannot keep up any longer? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
For the 4th time in the game, Bob is the strongest link. He got all of his questions correct, and banked £100. The weakest link is Percy. He was the only one to get questions wrong, but he did bank £70. But will the voting reflect reality?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think was the weakest link.
Percy.
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 Charlotte.
Giuseppe. Why have you voted for Percy?
Because he's definitely the weakest link. He was only want to get questions wrong, all questions wrong.
and I think he should get a real job instead of playing video games. You would have better knowledge.
Valid point. Bob. Why Percy?
The same reasons as Giuseppe, and I couldn't agree more with him. I mean, come on, Percy. Do you seriously think you'll make a living just playing kids' games? I know games are fun, but snap back to reality. And the fact he thinks Abraham Lincoln was around during World War II dumbfounds me.
It certainly dumbfounds me too. And Charlotte. Why Percy?
I completely agree with Giuseppe and Bob. He was obviously the weakest link, and the fact he's 24 years old, and he has no idea how cars work. Really, Percy, I'm 5 years younger than you, and I know how cars work.
Whatever.
I think you should go to Amber's class. She'll teach you a few things.
I think that's a reasonable suggestion. Percy, the 24-year-old Roblox YouTuber, who thinks Abraham Lincoln was president of America during World War II. It's pretty clear you can no longer keep up with the others, so your time is up. Well, it could be worse. Imagine if you were driving home. Thankfully you're not. With 4 votes you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Was that really necessary? I mean, yes, I get it. I was the worst player, but is there any need to insult my personal life, just because I don't know how cars work and I play Roblox? Well, at the end of the day I don't care what they think, and I'll be continuing to make Roblox gaming videos on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Round 6. In the kitty you have 1,890 pounds, this could have been 5,000 if you reached your targets. 4 of you left. We're cutting another 10 seconds of the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round, and that's Bob. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Bob, the clavicle is the technical name for which bone in the human body?
The collarbone.
Correct, Giuseppe. In celebrity marriages, which actress was the first wife of Brad Pitt?
Jennifer Aniston.
Correct, Charlotte. What's the name of the mental institution located in Berkshire in a town called Crowthorne?
Broadmoor.
Correct, Jerome. In music, which American band conductor had a song in 1941 titled Chattanooga Choo Choo?
Glenn Miller.
Correct, Bob. In Roman mythology, who was the lord of the underworld?
Pluto.
Correct, Giuseppe. In advertising, which chocolate bar had the slogan "You're not you when you're hungry"?
Snickers.
Correct, Charlotte.
Bank.
In 2016, which British strongman broke the all-time record by deadlifting half a ton?
Is it Eddie Hall?
Correct, Jerome. Which Italian supercar manufacturer produces the model called the Zonda?
Lamborghini.
Nope, Pagani. Boblet J is a condition where the whites of the eyes turn yellow.
Jaundice.
Correct, Giuseppe. In history, which ancient civilization built the city of Machu Picchu in the 15th century?
The Inca Empire.
Correct, Charlotte. In Judaism, what is the name of the celebration when a boy celebrates their 13th birthday?
Bar mitzvah.
Correct, Jerome. Which 1976 horror film is about the demonic child called Damien Thorpe?
The Omen.
Correct, Bob. In retail, what does VAT stand for?
Value-added tax.
Correct, Giuseppe.
Bank.
In geography, what is the capital city of Kenya?
Nairobi.
Correct, Charlotte.
Bank.
Which British detective drama series was the main character played by Brenda Blethyn?
Vera.
Correct, Jerome.
Back.
Time's up. Much better performance in this round, team. Getting rid of Percy is certainly paying off. You banked £790, but yet you're still not reaching your £1,000 target. So consider this: should Giuseppe go back home in his regular boring Fiat Bravo? Is Charlotte the potential doctor, is really a potential quack? Is Jerome too lost in translation to continue? Or maybe, you want Bob, the builder, to retire early? It's time to vote off the weakest link.
After getting all of her questions correct, and banking £470 for the team, Charlotte is the strongest link. Giuseppe also banked money for the team, banking £300. Jerome is the weakest link. He was the only one to get a question wrong. But will his overall performance save him?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think was the weakest link.
Jerome.
Jerome.
Bob.
Jerome.
Bob. Why Jerome?
Unfortunately, he was the weakest link. He was the only one to get a question wrong, which is very unlucky considering how fantastic his performance was overall, but I want to vote fairly. Sorry Jerome, but I wish you the best of luck.
Alright. Charlotte. Why have you voted for Jerome?
I agree with Bob. He had a great performance. He just got very unlucky with that one question he didn't know, and that was the only question he got wrong out of the whole game.
Better than your performance, by the way. You got 2 questions wrong in the whole game.
Yes, but I banked the most money in this round.
That's true. And finally Giuseppe, why Jerome? Had enough of him?
Not at all. Jerome is a very clever guy. Like what Bob and Charlotte said, he got very unlucky in this round, but definitely a fantastic performance overall. And he's wearing same shirt as me, so I like his style.
Oh, so he is. I didn't notice that until now. Well Jerome, there's absolutely no denying that you had a really good performance in today's game. You only got 1 question wrong overall, and the fact you can speak fluent in Georgian is honestly very impressive, but alas the 1 question stumbled you and made you fall into being the weakest link. Very good luck continuing your job at airport security. With 3 votes you're the weakest link. Goodbye.
That's completely fair enough. I was the only one to get a question wrong, so it makes perfect sense to vote for me as the weakest link, but I really enjoyed my time on the show, and when the host challenged me to translate into Georgian, that honestly made my day. I'm rooting for Charlotte to win, because she is very knowledgeable, for someone who's only 19.
Round 7. Out of the £6,000 you could have won, you have in the bank £2,680. There are now only 3 of you left, and we still have Giuseppe the Ferrari salesman, Charlotte the university student, and Bob the construction worker. We're cutting another 10 seconds of the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round, and that's Charlotte. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Charlotte in the soap opera Coronation Street, which villainous character was hit by a tram?
Pass.
Alan Bradley. Bob, what's the title of Nelson Mandela's autobiography published in 1994?
Long Walk to Freedom.
Correct. Giuseppe. Which English fashion designer and businesswoman was famous for bringing punk and new wave to mainstream?
Vivian Westwood.
Correct. Charlotte. In maths, what's 56 times 9?
504.
Correct. Bob. In music, which female musician was featured in the song Stand by Eminem?
Nicki Minaj.
Nope. Dido. Giuseppe, what's the name of the largest active volcano located in Ecuador?
Cotopaxi.
Correct. Charlotte. In video games, which first-person shooter series had a game in 2015 called Hardline?
Call of Duty.
Nope. Battlefield. Bob, in sport, which Spanish football club won the 2022 UEFA Champions League?
Is it Real Madrid?
Correct. Giuseppe.
Bank.
Which actor played the FBI agent Neville Flynn of the 2006 film Snakes on a Plane?
Samuel Jackson.
Correct. Charlotte.
Bank.
Which American inventor is known for inventing the QWERTY keyboard layout?
I don't know.
Christopher Scholes. Bob in health. Which vitamin is shown to help with blood clotting?
Vitamin C.
Nope, vitamin K. Giuseppe, what hazardous material composed of silicate minerals was historically used in insulation and fireproofing?
Asbestos.
Correct, Charlotte.
Bang.
In chemistry, what acid has the chemical formula CH2O2?
Formic acid.
Correct, Bob.
Bang.
In Philip Pullman's His Dark Material. Time's up. And you went from a dramatic improvement to a spectacular downfall. After getting rid of 6 weaker links, you only banked a pathetic, depressing, woeful £80. Now here's when things get interesting, because in round 8, you get the chance to treble what you bank, so there's £3,000 at stake. I highly recommend you vote very wisely if you want to bank that prize money. It's time to vote off the weakest link.
After being the only one to get all of his questions correct, Giuseppe is the strongest link. From a reversal of fortune, Charlotte was the strongest link in the last round, to now the weakest link, due to getting the most questions wrong. But who will lose out in the final vote?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think was the weakest link.
Charlotte.
Giuseppe.
Giuseppe.
Bob. Didn't you say in the last round that you wanted to vote fairly?
Yes, I did.
Then explain yourself to why you voted for Giuseppe, who was clearly the strongest link in this round.
Well, I've changed my mind. Giuseppe is just way too good, so I think I would have a better chance against Charlotte in the final.
So in short terms, you decided to become a coward?
Yeah, I guess I have.
What do you think your longtime workmates would say, finding out that for 40 years, they've met a sniveling little coward?
I'm sure they'll make fun of him for it, but at the end of the day I really want that prize money. And besides, I'm sure Giuseppe makes enough money selling and playing around with Ferraris anyway.
That's besides the point. Charlotte, what's your excuse to vote off the strongest link and best player of the game?
I'm not proud of it, not proud of it at all. But Bob is right. Giuseppe is too much tough competition, as I want a higher chance of winning the prize money too, and I know I have a better chance facing Bob instead of Giuseppe.
Don't you realize that if you voted for Bob instead, you could have worked with Giuseppe and got even more prize money?
Yes, I do realize that, but I also realize that I completely don't stand a chance against him in the final, and as a student I'm really desperate for the prize money, so yes, I'm a coward too. I'm so sorry, Giuseppe.
I do not accept your poor apology.
Quite frankly, I don't blame you, but unfortunately, as you know, it's votes that count. Giuseppe, you had an excellent performance in today's game. You didn't get a single question wrong, which shows you have a very impressive amount of general knowledge indeed, but disappointingly Bob and Charlotte, like the absolute pathetic cowards that they are, have voted you off. I wish you all the best of luck, Giuseppe. Goodbye.
I'm absolutely fuming. I got all of my questions correct in the whole game, and all my hard work, and all my effort, taken for granted, just because these two little scadecats refuse to face me in the final. This is absolute robbery. I don't care who wins. And I wish them from the very bottom of my heart the very worst of luck.
Round 8. After the last disastrous round, you now have in the bank £2,760 out of a possible £7,000. Charlotte and Bob, just the two of you left. You now only have 90 seconds, but whatever you win will be treble to make up your total prize money, so £3,000 is at stake. You voted off the strongest link in the last round. So we'll start with the second strongest. And that's Spineless Bob. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Bob in politics, who was Chancellor of the Exchequer from July 13, 2016 to July 24, 2019.
Philip Hammond.
Correct, Charlotte.
Bang.
In the operating system Windows ME, what does the ME stand for?
Pass.
Millennium Edition. Bob, which television series are comedians David Mitchell, Lee Mack and Rob Brydon panelists?
Mark the Week.
Nope, would I lie to you? Charlotte, in the 2014 FIFA World Cup, which country was heavily defeated by Germany with the score of 7-1?
China.
Nope, Brazil. Boblet A is a term for a person who can use both left and right hands equally well.
Pass.
Ambidextrous. Charlotte, in history, what's the name of the castle where Mary Queen of Scots was beheaded in 1587?
Edinburgh Castle.
Nope,
Oh, for
bothering a
goodness
castle.
sake.
Bob in the Star Wars film series, who was the father of bounty hunter Boba Fett?
I don't know.
Jango Fett. Charlotte, which American artist famously painted Campbell's soup cans?
Andy Warhol.
Correct, Bob.
Bang.
In tennis, who did Roger Federer beat to win his first US Open in 2004?
Leighton Hewitt.
Correct, Charlotte.
Bang.
Which song by Blink-182 begins with the line "It's hard to wake up when the shades have been pulled shut"?
I have no idea.
Time's up. The correct answer was "Stay Together" for the kids, and you only banked a very measly £60. We'll treble that and add it to your total banked in the previous rounds, so this gives you a total prize money of today of £2,940. However, only one of you can take that money away. You will now play against each other head-to-head. I'll ask you up to 5 alternating questions each. Whoever answers the most questions correctly wins. It's as simple as that. If there's a tie after 5, we'll go to sudden death until we have a winner. So Bob and Charlotte, for £2,940. Let's play the weakest link. Bob, as the strongest link in the last round, you have the choice to who goes first.
I'll let Charlotte go first.
Charlotte. In classical music, which Austrian composer, who was known as the father of the symphony, wrote over 100 symphonies, including the Surprise Symphony?
Beethoven.
The correct answer is Joseph Haydn. Bob, in horse racing, the legendary jockey Lester Piggott, who won the 1960 Epsom Derby, what is the name of the horse he rode?
St. Patty.
That's the correct answer. Charlotte, in the year 2000, which Russian president did Gordon Ramsay cook for during a state banquet on his visit to London?
Vladimir Putin.
That's the correct answer. Bob, what is the name of the bridge located in Scotland, first opened in 2017, links the area of Fife and the city of Edinburgh?
Pass. I don't know.
The correct answer is the Queen's Ferry Crossing. Charlotte. The television quiz show, hosted by Ken Bruce, Popmaster, was originally a mid-morning radio show. Was broadcasted on which BBC radio station?
BBC Radio 2?
That's the correct answer. Bob, which American female swimmer has won 21 gold medals at the World Aquatics Championships, and most recently, her 9th gold medal at the 2024 Summer Olympic Games in Paris?
Lily Kim.
The correct answer is Katie Ledecky. So far Charlotte is in the lead. Charlotte, in human biology. What organelle found in cells is responsible for producing energy in the form of ATP through the process of cellular respiration?
That's the mitochondria.
That's the correct answer. Bob, you need to answer this question correctly to stay in the game. Which fictional play by Arthur Miller, set in the late 1600s, does the main antagonist, Abigail Williams, goes on trial for witchcraft?
The Crucible.
That's the correct answer. Charlotte, if you answer this next question correctly, you have won. So for £2,940. In geography, which territory of Australia, located in the Indian Ocean, is famous for its annual red crab migration?
Tasmania.
The correct answer is Christmas Island. Bob, again, you need to answer this next question correctly, or else Charlotte wins. What term refers to the decentralized database technology that underpins cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin?
I give him. I have absolutely no idea.
The correct answer is a blockchain. That means, Charlotte, you are today's strongest link and you go away with £2,940. Bob, you leave with nothing. Join us again for the weakest link. Goodbye.
I honestly cannot believe I have won the weakest link. I didn't think I would beat Bob in the final. But I actually did it, and I'm very proud of myself.
Wow, I got completely wrong. Charlotte got so lucky with the questions. There's no doubt in my mind I would have won if I went first instead of Charlotte, and I'll forever regret that decision for the rest of my time.